myself, Bala Saraswati, Assistant Professor of Home Science, V.V. Vanni Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Today, my topic is about nutritional status. Before getting to the topic, nutritional status, let us see what do you mean by food, nutrients and nutrition. Food, that is the basic needs of human beings. Without food, we can't survive. Food is nothing but it is a solid or liquid which when swallowed, digested and assimilated nourishes the body. Nutrient is a chemical component which is present in the food. There are two types of nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are carbohydrate, protein, fat and fiber. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. The vitamins are again divided into two types, fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E and K. Water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and C. The minerals are divided into two types, that is macro minerals and micro minerals. Macro minerals are calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, chloride, and the micro minerals are iron, iodine, fluorine, nickel, chromium. So these are the micro minerals. So now let us move on to the nutrition. The word nutrition refers to nourishment that sustain life. In other words, it is defined as the process of consuming, absorbing and using nutrients from food and drinks to support life, growth and life. Good nutrition is the foundation for good health. Now let us see the nutritional status. So nutritional status is one of the best indicators for the human health. It is nothing but it is the status of an individual which result from the relationship between nutrient intake, requirements and from the body's ability to digest, absorb and use digested nutrients. So the nutritional status are determined by so many factors. They are food intake in the sense how much food we are taking, what type of food we are taking and how many times we are taking. And then absorption and utilization capacities. It also depends upon the human's health. If the person is having good absorption and digestion capacity, so they can easily digest whatever the food they consumed by an individuals. So the capacity that will determine the nutritional status of an individual and the health status. It is based on the health condition of the people. Suppose if the person is suffering from infection or any other disorders, means that will affect the health. Ultimately, it will affect the nutritional status of an individual. And then other factor is the socio-economic factors. Here, it is based on the income, occupation, education level of an individual and the cultural practices. So these factors will determine the consumption pattern of an individual. Ultimately, it will determine the nutritional status of an individual. And then last one is the environmental factors. So this is playing a major role. It is in these factors we are seeing that the food availabilities. So nowadays people are suffering from so many ill health. It may be due to the unavailability of the food. It may be due to the low income or any other reasons. It may be due to the hygiene, poor sanitary conditions. So as a poor sanitary condition also one of the important environmental factors that will decide the nutritional status of an individual. So, these are the factors, that is food intake, absorption and utilization capacities, health status, and socio-economic factors, environmental factors. These factors determine the nutritional status of an individual. Now let us move on to the types of nutritional status. There are two types of nutritional status. One is optimum nutrition and another one is the malnutrition. Optimum nutrition is the condition when all the required nutrients are met. If the person is in optimum nutrition, definitely he will lead a high quality life. Their physical and mental state will be stable and sustainable one. And then another type is the malnutrition. It is a pathological state resulting from a relative or absolute deficiency or excess of one or more essential nutrients. Now let us see the forms of malnutrition. There are four forms of malnutrition: undernutrition, overnutrition, imbalance, and specific deficiency diseases. Now let us see one by one. That is undernutrition. It is a condition that occurs when insufficient food is eaten over an extended period of time. In this condition, if the person is in what undernutrition means, they used to have the decreased physical and mental development. At the same time, they used to have the low immunity power. The best example is the PEM. PEM means protein energy malnutrition. If the mostly it will affect the PEM is affect the children's. So if the children is in PEM means they used to suffer from marasmus, kwashiorkor and kwashiorkor marasmic disease. Then another form is the overnutrition. It is a pathological state resulting from the consumption of excessive amount of food over an extended period of time. The best example is the obesity and the metabolic syndromes. So obesity is one of the culprit that will invite all other lifestyle diseases. So we have to check that obese conditions. And then next one is the imbalance. It is a pathological state resulting from a disproportion among essential nutrients with or without the absolute deficiency of any nutrients. And then last form is the specific deficiency disease. It is a condition state resulting from a relative or absolute lack of an individual nutrients. The example for the specific deficiency diseases are the we can say anemia, and then beriberi, night blindness, pellagra, scurvy, rickets, goiter. So now these are all the specific nutritional deficiency diseases. Then how we can decide whether the person is in good nutrition or they are in malnutrition. So that can be assessed by using these so many methods. Among that the ABCD method. ABCD method in the sense A means anthropometric measures, B means biochemical assessment, C means clinical assessment, and D is the dietary assessment. In that anthropometric measurement, they will measure the height, weight, BMI, they will check the BMI and the mid upper arm circumferences and scale fold thickness. So from this they will assess anthropometric aspects. And then second aspect is the biochemical assessment. Here they will test the body fluid, that is blood, urine. Through that they will find out the excess or less amount of what is the nutrient what content, how much it is present in the blood and the urine. Based on that one they will determine the nutritional status of an individual. And third one is a clinical assessment. Here the physical examinations. So by observing the changes in the skin, hair, eyes, and then nails, and then epithelial tissues. So from that, by observing that one, if there is any changes, that will indicate the particular nutrient deficiency disease and other health conditions. So that is the third one. And fourth one is the dietary assessment. So in this assessment, they will see the food frequency questionnaires. They will use the food frequency questionnaire and the diet histories and 24 recall method. This by using this method, they will find out the dietary assessment. With this assessment, we can determine, we can decide, we can assess the nutritional status. So till now we have seen that what is food, what is the nutrients, what is nutrition, and the nutritional status, determinants of nutritional status, and the types, forms of malnutrition, and how we are assessing the nutritional status. So why we have to study the nutritional status? It is the best indicators of the health of an individual and the public health. It helps to identify the deficiency, excess or imbalance in nutrient intake, and it helps to guide the person for the nutritional intervention programs like therapeutic diet supplementation and lifestyle modifications. So with this I conclude my topic. So what we eat, what we are. So eat a healthy diet and lead a healthy life. Thank you.